BZM is pretty much the only pro player successful with Exort Invoker. He won a major, so I investigated him and learned something. Hey guys, this is DATOHLEONG, and in this video, you will see 10 things that BZM does with his Exort Invoker. Number 1. Lane Control. BZM always starts the lane by blocking the creeps from his tier 3 tower and usually never goes for any rune fights. The goal is to have his creeps on his high ground and abuse his high damage and long range to out-trade and out-CS his opponents while maintaining creeps on his high ground. And when he's on the high ground, he get an evasion buff. And what's better than his evasion is your buff by Overwolf. Buff is an app that you use on the background. As you play Dota, you gain points by completing certain challenges, like playing a game, buying Shadow Amulet and just go AFK. Yeah, like playing a game is a challenge too, so it is easier than you think. With the points, you get to redeem free stuff. You can literally get Rising Storm 2 or Batman as a reward for AFK in Dota. I'm just kidding guys, please don't AFK in Dota. Buff is doing a 500 points giveaway. All you need to do is to comment hashtag downloaded buff with your username and I'll pick a few winners. Please include your username so I can give you free points. Links are in the description. Number 2. Rune Spawn. He will always attempt to snap his opponents out of lane and secure 2 runes with his Forged Spirit. In this clip, Brawl counters it by backing off and then re-engaging onto the Invoker after the snap. Number 3. BZM farms a lot during his laning phase. He usually never rotates to the other lanes and prefers to sit in his own lane maximizing farm while trying to snipe for runes and help the team with Sunstrike. He's not griefing by doing this, but is actually trying to hit a level 9 power spike as soon as possible. Exort Invoker will have 2 Forged Spirit at level 9 with the 414 skill build, and we will see how powerful it is when you get it really early. Number 4. Skill build. BZM always prioritizes Exort in the early game, killing Exort into Quas for Forged Spirit, then 203 Wax at level 6, 214 and 414 at level 9 for the double Forged Spirit, then max Exort. BZM doesn't skill any talent before level 18 with 7 levels of Wax. He then takes minus 25 seconds Ghost Walk cooldown plus 50 Forged Spirit attack speed, occasionally skipping this talent or taking minus 8 seconds snap, plus 30 alacrity damage and attack speed at level 20, and takes 3x Quas Wax Exort most of the time. But in this game, he took AoE Deafening Blast. The 3x Op talent is incredibly underrated. Taking the talent will increase the damage from plus 60 to plus 150 damage to plus 250 damage with Alacrity. Your movement speed will increase from 400 movement speed to permanent haste. Your regen will increase from 30 a second to over 70, which is almost Heart's regen. Number 5. Item build. BZM always starts with 2 circlets, 1 mantle, 1 branch, and a fairy fire. This starting item gives him a lot of damage for the first wave, and he will purchase Tango after the rune. Glove of Haze is the first item he rushes every game due to Invoker's high attack damage. Then he goes for Magic Stick, Boots into Midas. This will help him get to level 9 and level 20 really quickly. BZM then goes for Boots of Travel, Blink, BKB, Shard, Hex into Refresher. Against high physical damage bursts, he will usually get Shivas before Hex. Number 6. Defensive Forge Formation. Because he is farming a lot in the early game, his opponents tend to take his side buildings and invade his jungle. BZM will always use his Forged Spirit to scout the high ground and shield him from ganks while he farms. Most of the time, supports cannot deal with the double Forged Spirits in the early game, chasing them, so it is very hard to gank this Invoker, and he usually gets free farm because of how he positions his Forged Spirit. BZM almost never crosses the river during this stage of the game. Instead, he holds the river and threatens to kill his opponent when they are trying to cross the river. He will continue to play defensively and wait for his enemies to come to him instead of going to them until his Boots of Travel. Number 7. Global Presence. BZM playstyle completely changes when he purchases the Boots of Travel. He will often shove the side lanes to invade enemy jungles and find kills with his team. Even though it looks like he's TPing out to farm even more, he always does it in a way where he opens up the map with this split push and connect to his team to make a play. For example, in this clip, he TP'd bot to deal with the wave. The Radiant spotted him, so they tried to kill him along with the tower. Then he ran towards his team and attempts Roshan. Number 8. Positioning. It is very hard to kill BZM Invoker most of the time because of how he plays Invoker. Invoker has a lot of AoE controlling spells, and you will almost always find BZM waiting for his enemy at certain choke points of the map, where it is very hard to dodge the spells and will force BKB and objectives. For example, Raiden is taking Roshan right now. He gets closer, spotted multiple heroes but doesn't commit to anything. Pagna is spotted running towards a choke point, so he BKB to take him out. Wraith King is going for the Mirana, so he trapped him in an awkward position. Lash is inside the pit, so he dropped the meteor. All of the spells and kill attempts are based on the positioning of his enemy, and there is almost zero openings for his enemies to catch him. Number 9. Combos. BZM is very efficient with his spell usage. He will almost never commit to big spell combo with Invoker and only cast what is needed to defend himself or to kill his enemy. Most of the time, he aims for a long drawn out fight where his opponents eventually run out of BKBs. BZM will always stagger his spells out such that even though BKB is forced, he will always have spell throughout the entire fight. In this clip, the DK hits the stun, so he uses Sunstrike. Lash used Eels and they are in a choke point, so he Tornado, Cold Snap, EMP into Ice Wall. This play isolated the BKB Wraith King on the high ground. As the BKB ends, Meteor so the Radiant take damage as they run away, Forge Spirit Alacrity to finish them, and Pre-Deafening Blast on the Aegis respawn. Number 10. Carry Invoker. Even though Invoker has a reputation for being a high magic and pure damage burst, BZM plays the hero like a physical right clicker. Most of the spells are used to keep his opponents in place, protect himself, or to give vision, not to burst them from full HP, because overcommitting these spells can be mitigated by Force, Eels, Glimmer, or BKB. At level 20 with the Forge and Alacrity talent, his physical right click damage skyrocketed, and BZM is literally playing the hero like a physical right clicker. He will always find a position where his Forge Spirit and himself with Alacrity can get off free right clicks, so in the late game, it is really just about finding the right blink target. And they usually die faster than the combo spells itself. In this final fight, he found the most important target, Pagna. Alacrity blink hacks and takes him out without any commitment. He then media deafening, pushing the two cores away from the BKB Wraith King, preventing follow-up. Refresh hacks media BKB and take out the Monkey King while having the Forged Spirit clicks the Lash, removing his armor. He repositioned and found another beautiful deafening on all three cores, Sunstrike, Cold Snap, and right-click the Lash to death before blinking out, maintaining good position throughout the fight. He pre-tornadoes the Wraith King respawns so he cannot blink out and hacks on the Monkey King at the back. The TA bot back, Alacrity on the TA, and cleans up the fight. There are a lot of positioning plays going on where he finds the balance in doing damage, controlling the enemy, and staying alive. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Shout out to my sugar daddies for supporting the channel, like, share, subscribe.